to Three Quirks and a Twerk at 89.3 FM.
This is my station.
Action.
It's just insane and I love it.
Entertainment.
Hey guys, it's Selena Gomez.
Hey, this is Ed Sheeran.
Hey guys, it's Taylor Swift.
Entrepreneurs.
You need to learn this business, and this is the time to do it.
And empowerment.
Become an insider, so you have to know the rules before you get in the game.
It's Friday.
I can't believe that it's Freaky Friday.
YB Moody, shake that booty and tune in to the voice of the continent.
Your week though, how was your week? Because like you've been pretty active lately too, haven't you?
I've always been active.
Oh really? I just thought
stop.
just last week.
It's always meeting new business owners and founders and connecting them with investors and having that conversation of what makes them different, you know. And that's what's great about our shows. We bring in business founders, owners, startups.
Yes,
you know,
the amount of people we talk to, business, startup over the years, I think, sheesh, we should rename the show instead of Three Quirks and a Turk. We should call it something else now.
Well, we have had a lot of professionals, like lawyers, accountants, mediators, coaches.
Coaches.
As well.
Scientists last week.
Brian Lim,
Brian Lim
from Deep Sea Energy.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I've been really active in the business startup establishment space and trying to help businesses scale.
And it's definitely 2026 is here. And can you believe that this is the last day for January? What happened to January? January just like disappeared, right?
Yes.
So today's conversation, we're really touching base in terms of relationship. Like we've got this fabulous lady here, Rosemary. She's going to join us. She's going to tell us all about family relationship, meditation,
trauma as well, identifying trauma response,
neuroscience and all that. I'm thinking, this is like, wow, this is quite deep and big conversation for us.
Are you ready for this conversation, David?
You know what? I was born ready, Valentina. I was born ready. This conversation is a conversation we need to have.
Yes.
Who else is it's better to have this conversation and say Rosemary, who's been involved for 15 years now, right? She's in the game for 15 years. So
I hope I'm ready.
Oh, welcome
I hope
to
you're
the
ready.
show, Rosemary.
So welcome. So why don't you introduce yourself? Because who else knows you better than yourself?
Yes.
Let's do that.
Yes. Well, I guess at the moment I am a family mediator, but I've put all of that on hold to pursue writing and also to be a carer.
Oh, really?
As well. So it's only recently when people ask me, what do I do, that I've stopped saying, well, I'm a family mediator, because I was and I still am.
Okay.
But, life just takes a turn, but it's also given me the opportunity to focus on my writing and my book and book promotion without being in the thick of...
So when you talk about books, what kind of books we're talking about? Fantasy, love story, counselling, neuroscience, what kind of books are we expecting from you?
Self-help.
Self-help.
Okay. So my first book is called It's Not You, It's Me, A Chronic Overthinker's Guide to
How come I heard of that before?
Well,
and she has it here as well in the studio.
So this is your first novel, right?
That's my first, that's a self-help, and it is based on my work as a mediator. So what I observed in terms of the way that people manage adversity and the trends, and I guess seeing it through a strengths-based lens, which is, when I started working as a mediator, working in an organisation that was really strengths-based. And I had no idea what strengths-based was.
Well, can you explain that to our audience for us?
Yeah, and it's really just a perspective or an approach to use where instead of focusing on what's wrong in a situation, we focus on what's strong. And I guess the reality is that most day-to-day scenarios, like even you go to a doctor because you're feeling sick and they're the expert and they're going to fix it because something's wrong. Yeah. So a strengths-based, and there's still valid room for that. I just use that doctor example because that's, an easy way of explaining how ingrained this what's wrong approach is in our lives. So what's strong is more about looking at an individual's strengths and their qualities. And so rather than having someone who's made a mistake, it's a learning opportunity.
Yeah,
I see. And in your book here, are you overthinker? turn this potential hindrance into an empowering asset and vehicle for growth. So this is 15 years of experience of dealing with your customers, and so from that experience you decided to put this in the book.
So yeah, it's about my experience as a mediator as well as my own experience and what I noticed in myself in the way that I managed adversity and personal challenges. But it also uses a strengths-based lens and also looking at being trauma-informed and how our childhood experience also impacts our default lens.
Interesting. Childhood.
So how did you get into this space 15 years ago or more?
So, it goes
way
before.
Back? Yeah.
Because I originally, all I ever wanted to do was to be a family lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
not pressured by parents.
No.
Okay.
Are you sure? From Italian background, the Italianos are very strict
No, my
too.
parents were quite supportive, and whatever I said I wanted to do, they would, support me. They would drive me there. They would do whatever I needed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just had this drive that I wanted to be a working family law, and so I did that. And then when I got there, I realised it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
It's really hard work being a family lawyer too, isn't it? Like you deal with a lot of emotional baggages, like family, divorce, and all that. The High Court, and over the years, when we talk to a lot of people who go through that process, and it's never a win-win situation for anyone. It's always the kids that's affected in the middle of all this. So is that from your experience?
Yeah, but why did you not want to pursue it?
Well, I mean, I finished and I started working as a solicitor, but I guess it really highlighted my weaknesses and where I needed to improve, because I'm not naturally someone who will attack or defend and who is very quick off the mark. Okay. I'm more of a thinker and I need to consider all my options and think things through, maybe sleep on it a bit, and I'm really good at listening. And taking things in. So, but as part of my legal training, I had to do a mediation component, and most people hated it.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is where I have to be. So it was right at the very end of my training.
Yes.
And so then I still completed, my certificate to become a solicitor. But I knew from then on I had to do whatever I could to become a family mediator.
I see.
Okay, what's a case? Give us an example of a situation that you've helped a family.
So it would be normally where there's a separation. A couple have separating or have separated, and they have children and need a little bit of assistance just going through who does what and when, because parental responsibilities change.
Yeah.
So it's about renegotiating those changes.
But a lot of people, when it comes down to family matters or divorce and all that, the first thing that comes to their mind is they will utilize a solicitor. Right. So this is kind of an education as well to our listeners out there, that you don't have to go through to a solicitor, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And there's family relationship centres set up all over Australia specifically to provide government-funded family mediation, and they also provide family therapy and other sort of therapeutic counselling services there as well. And they're really designed to support families through this process.
So it's legal aid funded as well for those who...
Well, there is a legal aid family mediation as well, which is separate, but family relationship centres are also, partially funded or fully funded, and offer the mediation. I mean, you can also go to a private mediator. Yeah. It's just a matter of fees, I guess, and how much time you have, because some of the government-funded centres might take a few months to get through the process. There's, group sort of workshops that have to be done, and a process to go through. And some have waiting lists as well. Whereas privately, sometimes you could, be done and dusted within a few weeks.
So what's the average processing time with a family? With 3 months, 6 months?
Well, it really depends on if you're going through a family relationship centre. Like I know someone who I referred to a centre, and they got in for their first appointment within a few days. Okay. And then what would happen is the initiating party goes in, has their appointment, then the mediator contacts the other party and invites them to go in, has an individual session with them, and then makes an assessment on whether or not to go ahead and how to go ahead, and then sets a date. But it can depend on how busy that centre is.
So it must be a huge emotional overload as well for these families, because they want one thing and then somebody else, the other partner, ex-partner, wants the other thing. You know, you want
welcome to the divorce world.
It can be emotionally heavy. I mean, I suppose you see a lot of families that come in that are overwhelmed, have high anxiety, emotional. How do you manage to get them from what they like? At the end of the day, they want something, but they don't always get it, right?
Yeah. And so part of my role is also to assess the best way for them to get through mediation, if it is for them. And so it might be slowing down the process or being very specific about what the first mediation will cover. You know, or saying to both parents, look, I think you should each go to at least one counselling session before we have the mediation.
Yeah. But when it comes down to divorce, I mean, at the end of the day, when you first fall in love for the first year or two, it's all hunky-dory, so romantic, right?
Right.
Until
Cloud 9.
Yeah, Cloud 9, Cloud 55. And then when it comes to divorce, it's the knives comes out and you see the ugly side of both parties. And I guess as a solicitor or Rosemary yourself, you probably see that, right? But how would you try to avoid getting personally attached to these situations? Because it would be very challenging for you to take side.
It's quite a big ask, but I guess my role is to be that independent third party, to be neutral, not to take sides, not to give an opinion or judgment. And so I try to
not to defend or attack, right?
And so it's really up to what the family in front of me want to do and what works for their family, as long as there are no safety concerns where I would have to step in and do something or say something. It's really up to them. And in my head, sometimes I say to myself, you know, am what I am saying and the way that I'm guiding the process, am I going towards judgment or am I showing them understanding?
All right, let's hold that thought. Interesting that this book here, Rosemary, it's interesting to see that from your experience and you pencil it down in a book. And I guess in many ways for a lot of people who are going through that process, they can actually purchase this book and understand the process more, because a lot of people go through divorce, breakup, they have no idea what to do, where to go. So your book, tell us a bit about your book. Where can they buy your book from?
And the book is really more about personal growth. But based on the observations that I made as a family mediator, because I guess I was in the middle of other people's conflict and challenges on a daily basis, so I could see the trends in the way people managed it, and so there was one view that seemed to be a little bit harder for them to overcome, and they were more stuck in the past. And it just made the process a lot heavier and slower, whereas the alternate path or option, which is really about a view of the scenario, seemed to be easier and smoother and lighter, and easier to also make decisions about the future, because they weren't too held up in wrongs of the past.
So you feel education is part of that? The more you know, the easier and smoother the process will be?
It can, but it's not a guarantee.
Yeah, of course not. Nothing in life is guaranteed.
It's not a guarantee, because it is education, but it's education on a personal level. And whether or not that is through experience or the way you've been taught, because essentially what I noticed is using a strengths-based theory, which will classify all thoughts, feelings and actions under either what's wrong or what's strong. What I saw is that when the view of the situation and the people and the experience highlighted what was wrong as the predominant lens, then it was just a lot harder to get, and it was easier to stay stuck in past hurts, which then made it difficult to make arrangements about the future. Whereas where there was more openness to the strengths in the situation and what's strong, it made it much easier to see the strengths in the person who you no longer want to be with, but still have to co-parent, to see their strengths and also to see the lessons from situations, or even when things just didn't go as planned, to see the lessons from that.
So in your book, you've got 31 self-paced reflection. Go through, maybe give us the 3 or 4 best reflection that you can share with us online.
Oh, I don't know. That's a hard one.
There's 31.
Well, I think because what I've done is that I've introduced a concept and then have a task to help the reader apply that concept to their scenario.
Okay.
And then I introduce another concept and then go through that with another task. And as the book progresses, the tasks get, I guess, more involved.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So the first task might be about thinking about the way that we handle stress.
Yes.
And writing down our thoughts, feelings and actions. Then the next task might be to then classify those, our responses to stress, whether or not they come under what's wrong or what's strong, just to start that awareness.
Stepping in awareness process.
Yeah.
But you never had this help before, Valentino, when you went through all this?
No, I didn't. I did it independently. I wish there was a book like this.
Yeah, that's right.
But the thing is, it takes 2 people to go through this self-reflecting, self-pace. Because if it's only one person acknowledging what, my strengths and what I've done wrong, right? I will admit it, but it's an ego thing too. Like some people just don't want to go down that route or no.
And then if you are in a situation where you're constantly giving and being positive and, then it can get quite tiring if you're up against the complete opposite. So that's, because separation is not easy. It's and especially when you have children, because what I would ask parents to do is to, I guess, try to put aside everything to focus on the kids. But putting aside everything means the grief of a relationship breakup and, if there was a specific incident or event or build-up that was sort of replaying in your mind or going through, oh, now that makes sense. I know why he or she did this or that. So dealing with that grief plus the uncertainty and the financial changes and the change in lifestyle. It's a lot to navigate. And then for me to sit in a room, I'm the stranger and say...
They kind of open up to you as well.
Yeah, and try to encourage, support and do whatever I can to promote that focus on the child while getting other supports, and even for them to know that it's normal to have all these emotions and uncertainty all at the same time.
Do you feel like I saw this video that's going around, right? And they were saying when there comes a problem, right? It's the guys. It's very straightforward to say sorry. They say the problems identify one, and then guys say sorry. But when it comes to the ladies, they identify a problem, but instead of saying sorry, they go up and down, left, right, up and around a circle 300-400 times. Then they come back and they say sorry. So do you feel that guys are more simpler to deal with than, say, the ladies?
Well, that hasn't been my experience. I guess they express things differently. And I mean, I would have a one-on-one session with each parent first, and that sort of gives me an idea of the communication styles. But yes, there might be that trend, but there's also the opposite.
From one extreme to another as well.
I guess what I've learned is that nothing's sort of, everything's normal. And not to be surprised by anything.
Interesting.
And I guess one thing, you asked about the tasks.
Yes.
And that one task which I do share a lot because I use it a lot, and it's based on my legal background.
Okay.
And it looks at negative assumptions or jumping to conclusions, because that's something that
innocent to proven guilty.
That can come up, yes. But not only innocent until proven guilty, but when you go into a court process, you have to have evidence.
Correct. Factual evidence.
Yeah. And so what I found is in my own overthinking, or even in the clients, processing of their scenario, there's a tendency to jump to conclusions, and they're negative conclusions.
Yeah.
All right. So any conclusion that focuses on what's wrong. And so I realised I was doing this a lot. And so I put it in my book so that if we do jump to conclusions, then I encourage people to apply the rules of evidence. And the rules of evidence is a legal principle that really dictates what can be admitted in court.
Okay.
So if it can't be admitted in court, then why am I spending so much airtime on it? And to be admitted in court, it has to be something that can be verified by a person, like a witness or a thing, a document.
That's another question I ask you. Between hearsay and factual, fair enough, there's factual evidence that you can take to court. But what happens then when they give you so many hearsay stories? How do you identify whether there's any truth to that?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
Because I'm a mediator. I'm not there to judge.
So you're just to listen?
It's not evidence-based.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. So it doesn't, maybe my overthinking, goes through or is looking for evidence that's inadmissible.
Yeah.
But in terms of client work, it doesn't matter. And I say to them, this is not an evidence-based process. Okay. And if they do want an evidence-based process, or if there's something really pressing them that they want to prove, and that would normally be if there's a safety issue, then it's not the role for mediation. They shouldn't be in mediation.
But this is what I don't get. The reason why they go to you, because say Valentina and I, we go to you because we're having issues. We don't know what's right, what's wrong. She's saying what she's saying is right, and I'm believing that what I'm doing is right. So I'm going to you, and you say, okay, so Valentina and Dave, you're here to see you today, Rosemary. So what's the issue? I'm telling you what our problem is. So really, and I'm giving you evidence to prove the reason why we're having a problem. So wouldn't it be...
And it doesn't matter. Because,
it doesn't matter at all?
No, not in a media... I mean, it's relevant and it's important, and it's good for me to know the background and the story, and even just to learn a little bit about the people who I'm in front of, because I'm in the middle of a high-stakes situation for them. But at the end of the day, it's really about what these two parents can agree to and live with, because they're not going to agree to something unless they're comfortable with it and they're happy with it. Generally. And if they do agree to something that they're not 100% about, then they're probably not going to do it.
But that's the reason why we come to you, because we want you to help us. But you won't give us direction.
It's more empowering. So I can give some, I mean, this is how I work. I don't give direct guidance, but I can share what other parents have done in a similar scenario. And going through the family relationship centre, there's a lot of steps before they get to mediation. So the parents will be very prepared. They would have done a parenting after separation program as well.
Yes.
Parenting... What was that?
Parenting after separation program.
Oh my goodness.
So most family relationship centres will have a seminar that all parents have to attend before they go to the mediation, and that really gets into it. It's like a sort of a group session with all the other parents who are also going through. Yeah.
Wow.
I guess it's
like a powwow.
So there's a lot of prep, because it's more about how much preparation you do for the actual mediation day.
Okay.
And part of that is my role, part of that is me making referrals, part of that is the seminars and giving information or organising or encouraging clients to get legal advice as well. Because sometimes that can help, because someone might come in and say, I want X, Y, Z.
Okay.
And I might know that that's really not possible if you went to court.
Yes.
Or highly unlikely. So
can you tell them you can't have that?
No, I wouldn't, but I would send them to a solicitor, or or even some family relationship centres have free legal advice that they can give. I'll put them into that session.
Yeah. Okay. And the pros and cons between solicitors and yourself, what's the pro and what's the con?
Well, time and money are the main things, and I feel that mediation, where it's appropriate to go ahead, is a more family friendly. It can be more family friendly. And really look at what the family needs, because the parents can agree to things that wouldn't go into a legal document because they don't fit, legal certainty, or it's just not considered. It would be too hard to enforce, and that's fine. I get that. But it might be still something that's really important for one or both parents, and they want it in the agreement.
Okay.
And it can go in.
So if someone wanted to buy your book, okay, and they bought it, and they're going through this situation, okay, their mind is, I want to get a divorce.
Yep.
Okay, to pick up your book, what sort of mindset? What should they read? 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, to help prep them, or to help? I mean, to get them prepared to because this. Because going through a divorce, it's emotionally heavy. And then now you've got to concentrate, okay, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, it's not limited to people going through divorce, because it's a self-help book. It's more for personal development and ways to give awareness to the way that we manage adversity. Okay. So even just being aware of the classifications that I use in the book, am I going down the path of what's wrong or what's strong? And how does that impact the overall outcome, or how I feel about that person or the situation, or even myself? Because when we're overthinking, we're analysing the situation from the perspective of what's wrong.
Okay.
Whereas when we're in reflection mode, we're analysing from the perspective of what's wrong.
Okay, that's clear.
So where can I buy your book?
So you can, on my website.
Yeah, what's your website?
From me, it's rosemarygattuso.com.
Mm-hmm.
What did I say?
3 Quirks and a Turk is Friday. YB Moody, where you can shake your booty. Rosemary, let's get to know you. Have a fun segment. I reckon you are from European country called Italiano, yeah?
Yes, that is correct.
So you love your food?
Well, actually, I'm Australian.
Yes.
Of course.
But my parents are Italian.
Of course.
Yes.
So can you speak Italian?
Yes, I can.
That's good. So your parents did well. Because do you know a lot of kids come and speak their own language?
Yes, I know.
It's
I know.
sad, isn't it?
I did study it.
Did you?
Because my parents really taught me the dialect.
Oh, good, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kids need to be proud of, right? Kids these days are not proud, because I think it's
embarrassed.
It's an advantage to be able to speak 2-3 languages.
Absolutely.
It's an advantage.
Okay. Favourite food?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hard one, actually.
Oh, a foodie out here.
Well, I mean, I would say Italian food.
Yes, of course, as you do.
Lasagna, pizza.
Yeah, marinated octopus.
Oh my gosh, you're making me hungry now.
Fettuccine.
I think I can go with ingredients that I love.
Okay, ingredients.
So anything with pork.
Yum.
Oh.
I will be happy with that.
Pork.
Prosciutto.
Yeah, pork.
Yes.
I'm getting hungry now.
Mushrooms.
Mushroom. Hang on. Let's stop there.
I know.
Between pork and mushroom, it's totally different.
I know. But these are just things that I...
Ingredients.
Yeah. 'cause
Okay.
there's I guess a lot of my upbringing really focused on produce that's
yes.
in a particular season.
Yes.
So you might have a mushroom season, although it's a bit taboo to talk about mushrooms lately, or even invite people over.
I've never heard of this.
You know why? Because of the mushroom killer?
Yeah, I've been so scared to cook mushrooms for people if I invite someone over, or even my family.
They probably leave run
I
over the
just
house.
feel a little bit anxious offering someone mushrooms now.
Okay.
But I guess it's more about this idea of seasonal food, and what's in season, you
yes,
go
true.
for that.
That is true.
You know,
True.
so even, all the autumn fruits, all the
Yes.
summer fruits, whatever it is, you
Yes.
embrace it. Like at the moment, tomatoes are in season, so
Okay.
typically it would be a time where Italian families would make
Yes.
tomato sauce.
That's
Be
correct.
preparing
Yes.
for that.
Correct.
So that's
And-
really what I
And
bring.
one thing we talked off air was that your country is very great in terms of they're preventing and legalizing any modified food. And I think that
I
is
agree.
so true. It's like, when do you start to stop playing with everything inhuman now? They want to change everything. So it's always good not to change our food, because what can you do? If you change our food, then what's next?
Yeah. And I
Fake
think
meat already. They're doing fake meat.
it's quite obvious when you go to a country like Italy, where there's no genetically modified
Yeah.
food, and you eat a lot of carbohydrates, you eat bread,
Yeah,
you eat
correct.
pasta, and you don't get bloated.
Correct.
And you try a tomato, and it just tastes so
So
different.
sweet.
You know, and all the peaches and the fruit,
Yes.
it's just, the way it should be.
So don't mess with our food, I say, those scientists and politicians. Leave our food supplier alone. Now, favourite colour?
Purple.
Purple. I like purple too.
Your favourite book?
Oh, my
Besides
favourite
yours.
book.
Besides yours, yeah.
Besides yours.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah. No, not Valentino. It's you.
It's always been me.
It's always you.
Sometimes I say it the wrong way by accident.
Oh, do you?
I'm like, it's not me, it's you. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, that's wrong.
That's all right.
Favourite book? Oh, that's a hard one, actually,
Hard one? Yeah.
for me.
Okay.
Like, I've had a few books that have really been helpful.
Yeah. Okay. Let's come back to that.
Yeah.
If you were to smooch a celebrity, who would it be and why?
Oh, this is terrible because I'm really bad with celebrities.
Are you?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, let's name some. George Clooney,
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
Tom Cruise,
George.
Matthew.
No, I would go George Clooney.
George Clooney. George
Yeah.
Clooney. You like George Clooney?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all
He's
right.
salt and pepper.
Out of
James
the- yeah.
James Bond, Sean Connery, like he's a very
Oh, yeah.
gentleman.
Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I do know him.
Yeah. Oh, funny now. Funny that. It all comes out now. Brad Pitt. Yeah.
And what type of music do you listen to?
Quite varied.
Yeah.
Traditionally, maybe a little bit more indie.
Indie. Okay.
Like,
You probably like the new band coming in, you know?
oh,
Grace
sounds
here
good.
and the three girls there.
Yeah.
That should be interesting.
Oh, wow. I'll have to listen.
All-girl chick band.
All-chick punk
They're going to be
band.
playing live in
Yes,
studio
yes.
with
So that
us.
should be interesting. So what's your plan for this weekend? Anything exciting?
Try to relax a little bit.
Try to.
Yeah.
Try to. Okay.
Good.
That's a
Try
hard bit.
to.
Try to.
Maybe I've been told that I could potentially binge something on Netflix.
Oh, you're
Oh.
like me. I love
did
it. Once I
that.
find
Yeah.
something,
I've
I
been
continue.
binging since Christmas. Hey, I loved. I love.
What are you watching?
Well, I was watching Lord of the Rings, right? The series before Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yes.
I watched that, and then I watched another. I love science fiction stuff like fantasy, and there was another one was about the hour or something. I forgot, but it's all about pagans, witch, and all that. And I binge drink every night. I come home.
Have you watched Witches?
Yeah, I love it.
The Witcher.
The Witcher, sorry.
The Witcher.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
I love
watching
that.
that now.
Yeah.
I love
Are
it.
you? Then
Yeah.
you binge watching
Is that a new season or that's the old season? The
No,
Witcher.
I don't
That's
know.
good.
I think it's. I'm
Oh,
not sure, but
the
I've
old
just
season.
started. But I have a rule where I only watch one episode at a time.
Yeah, that's
Oh, no.
good.
So that's why
too
my
hard.
friend
That's
said,
good.
"Why don't you binge this
No.
weekend? Binge The Witcher."
I love
The
that.
Witcher is
So
good. I love
might-
The Witcher.
Sometimes I feel like a rebel if I watch
know-
two
you know-
episodes.
You know who's a really good author? Is Margaret Atwood.
What
She
does?
wrote Handmaid's Tale, and they've got a
Oh,
TV show,
Handmaid's
which is my
Tale.
favourite
They
TV
made
show.
a TV show down at the Southern Highland that I mentioned there.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, they were filming down at Southern Highland. I think they used a big mansion down there for a few scenes there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her.
Did you
It's
like it?
geopolitical. It's talks about gender, diverse, culture, just a whole heap of things. Cult, everything that's happening in the world
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
In this one TV show, but yeah, it blows your
That's
mind.
scary.
Yeah.
It is.
yeah.
It is. What is it? Dystopian.
Yeah,
you call it
yeah,
that
it
way.
is, yeah.
It's really
I hate
good.
that
She's a
bloody
very
word.
good writer. So whoever wrote the script, they won an award for
Wow.
script writing. So it's
Do
really
you ladies feel a bit anxious, like what's happening around the world with like everyone's talking about World War III?
Oh, yes.
and
China taking over.
and then you're talking about like it's just all this war things happening around the world and a financial crisis.
and the elites getting bunkers.
Yes, bunkers and this and that. Do you feel a bit of anxiety? Or you feel, you know what, F it, I don't give a. But
Well-
if it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
I used to, but then I stopped watching the news.
Oh, that's true, because that's sometimes fear, isn't
So
it?
it can,
Yeah.
because then, and I mean, I did, when there's an event, then I'll be glued and I
Yeah.
can feel myself getting really anxious and I can't sleep and I wake up and I'm thinking about
Yeah.
that event or that poor family or
Yes,
that
yes.
scenario, what's going to happen tomorrow morning when we wake up, you know.
Right.
So I just switch off. I know
That's
it's
good.
bad because then
Yeah.
often I don't know
What's going on in the world?
what's happening.
But
Yeah.
eventually somebody will tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a
Or
By
Or
then it'd be
session.
too late.
yeah, it'll
Rosemary,
come up.
thank you so much for joining the Three Quirks and Tips.
Thank you. For
Thank
Wish
you.
you all the
Sharing
your
best.
knowledge.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge,
It's
and
been
it's
so much
always
fun.
good. And we want to promote your books, so we'd love to
Yep.
bring you back in the studio in the future, and let us know your next adventure.
Yeah,
we
sounds
might turn
good.
your book into a little segment, way, huh?
Yeah, I'll be there. Sounds good.
89.3 FM, Three Quirks and Tips.